Hi there, I'm Dr. Gary Currie and I am the course leader on crime scene science here at Teesside University. So crime scene science is a discipline, relatively new discipline, that is really a hybrid of lots of other traditional disciplines. So there are elements of physics in our photographic section, there are elements of biology, there's some psychology, there's some sociology, there are lots of different avenues, different, as I say, traditional disciplines that form crime scene science. And obviously crime scene science is a subject that mirrors the role of the crime scene investigator out in the field. Okay, so crime scene science is differentiated from forensic science in the sense that forensic scientists tend to be lab-based, although not always, and analyse materials that are collected as part of an investigation. The crime scene scientist is the person that collects, records, recovers, interprets that evidence from the crime scene. So whether that's photography in the sense of recording an incident, whether it's the recovery of contact trace material such as biological evidence, fibres, hairs, glass, paint, that's done at the crime scene by the crime scene investigator, by the crime scene scientist, the same thing. Crime scene science at Teesside has a number of academic threads that run through the course. So let's take them one at a time. Firstly, there is the underpinning legislation. So as a crime scene investigator, you must understand legislation that underpins your actions and activities at crime scenes. So there is a thread that runs through from year 1 through to year 3. Another thread is anatomy and physiology. So we start basic and then we run through and we explore human remains and excavation. One thing leads to another, one thing builds on another. Another, of course, is the core discipline itself. So that's the skills and attributes that are required by the crime scene investigator. Crime scene examination, crime scene investigation, major crime investigation and understanding of that. The great thing about Teesside is that we now have, through many years of negotiation, we have a rolling programme of placements, 12-month paid placements with Cleveland Police. We currently have 3 students there at the moment. And previous applicants to that process, previous placement students that have worked as CSIs for a 12-month period have all gone on to full-time employment within the discipline. Not necessarily with Cleveland Police, but with other law enforcement agencies, because the experience that they've had is so invaluable. Of course, there are other opportunities for placements, and we encourage students to explore different avenues, to approach law enforcement agencies, to inquire as to whether opportunities are there. And in the past, we have had success in that avenue. One thing of note is that crime scene science at Teesside is accredited by the Chartered Society for Forensic Sciences. And I mention that because they have specifically mentioned the quality of our facilities here. And at the moment, we have a number of crime scene houses, facilities that really replicate real-world scenarios that students can then perform crime scene tasks within. So we have the crime scene houses, we also have a vehicle lab where we have 5 vehicles, and again, because crime occurs in all sorts of locations, we can actually situate scenarios within those facilities. And of course, other facilities that crime scene investigators need to be aware of, such as laboratories and the digital forensics suite. So within the programme, we assess students in a number of ways. Firstly, in-course assessments, so you might be asked to produce an essay, a report, an assignment, something like that. Of course, we have end exams, and we also have practical exams. What we do in crime scene science is we ensure that we just have one of those types of assessment per semester. So if end course exams isn't for you, it's not something to be too worried about, because there are other types of assessment along the way. Within crime scene science, we don't demand that you have an underpinning science, because we appreciate that, as I said at the start, crime scene science is a hybrid. It involves a lot of traditional disciplines. So we look for somebody that we feel will be able to apply a wide range of skills and aptitudes across this particular discipline. Crime scene science at Teesside has been running since 2001. It's the longest running crime scene science programme within the UK, and it's well respected. It's a fun way to spend 3 years studying for a degree. And it's worth reminding you that it's not a training course. We're not training you to be a CSI. You can be, but you can also go into a whole host of other associated disciplines. And we're quite proud at Teesside to say that we now, in our alumni, in our crime scene science alumni, we have representatives in almost every law enforcement agency within the UK. And not just crime scene investigation, as crime scene analysts and as other law enforcement operatives. Staff at Teesside are primarily former practitioners, and I think that's really important because it allows us to contextualise our teaching material. We don't teach just from a book. We're able to use our field experiences, build them into interesting scenarios, and then let you as a student explore that within the classroom. If you'd like to find out more about crime scene science at Teesside, then please pop along to an open day.